Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Just Another Podcast. Well, this time it's taken almost 2 years to say this again. Nevertheless, welcome back. Just as I've decided to start the podcast again, well, after a lot of changes in my life itself, Ashwin has decided to retire from cricket or international cricket. He's over 38 years old, and this is something, that is inevitable at this stage. It had to come at some point, but it's come in the middle of a Border Gavaskar Trophy. There's still the series still going on, series on the line yet, and Ashwin has retired. It's definitely a big surprise at this stage that has come, but in many ways, it's not really that big of a surprise. In my point of view, I think there could be many reasons that could have forced him to take this decision at this stage. One reason is, I mean, definitely, arguably he's one of the best spinners in the world and still appears to be in his prime and playing really well. But his place has always been uncertain, especially when India travels abroad. And now, especially in the first test, where we expected maybe even Jadeja to play or Ashwin, but we saw Washington Sundar get the first go. I think that itself was the first point where Ashwin would have felt like, well, his place is always going to be uncertain, and now it's going to be even further with Washington Sundar coming in. And if we see India's next series coming ahead, it's again in England. So it's going to be a while before India get back to play in India. And for a legend like Ashwin, at this stage of his career, I think just traveling around with the team is not going to suffice. So definitely that could be one of the reasons for his decision at this point. Another reason could be something which Ashwin himself mentioned recently. That is, at 38, he is the oldest cricketer to pick up a five-wicket haul, which is a great achievement. But at the same time, at his age, there are a lot of younger cricketers that are probably looking up to him in a good way, and at the same time in a bad way, which is waiting for him to retire for them to step in and make their own names. And I think Ashwin is a very practical and very smart guy. And it might be that, he has looked at this. He has looked at the players on the bench waiting, people like Washington Sundar, maybe even Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, all these guys waiting. And he probably thought, yes, it's probably time to go and give others a chance. Whichever way it is, it's definitely a huge loss for Indian cricket. When you think of Ashwin, I think there's a lot of things that come into mind. He's definitely a very crafty bowler. He's a very good handy batsman as well. He has six test centuries. He has had a lot of match-winning moments. I mean, he's got 11 man of the series, which is the highest. So there are a lot of great spells, a lot of great moments. But I think to me, the thing that comes to my mind when I think of Ashwin is his ability to innovate and his constant strive for excellence. We've seen a lot of variety in his bowling, and there are often people saying, why do so much and stick to the basics? But he's someone who has always believed that the game is not something stagnant where you do the same and you'll get success. He's a constant believer that you have to innovate to stay relevant in the game, and that's what he's done. We have seen plenty of new tricks, new bowling actions. In fact, he even tried leg spin for a while in IPL. He's a great example of pushing beyond the boundaries, and that's why he's such a huge inspiration to a lot of cricketers around the world. Outside of the game itself, I think another thing that connects him deeply with a lot of people is his strong opinions, be it with Mankid and a lot of things that people who follow his YouTube channel know. He has very strong opinions and backs it with very, very logical reasoning, and that's another thing which stands out. He's one of the smartest cricketers that I've seen, and in my opinion, he's almost right up there with Shane Warne in terms of critically thinking about the game and being one step ahead of the others at each point. I'm going to miss him seeing in the whites for India, but he's definitely not done yet. The great thing about Ashwin is that he loves playing cricket irrespective of which team he's representing. He's going to play for his clubs, he's going to play for TNPL, and he's going to continue playing for CSK for a long time, I feel. And I'm sure there is a lot in store for all his fans to witness. He's going to continue to innovate, and we'll see a lot more experimentations going forward as well. And with that, we come to the end of this episode. Let me know what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Ashwin. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you again really soon with another episode.